Hey everyone! The best rice in the world comes from Japan. There are two reasons. First, Japanese rice farming is done at a very small scale, mainly by families, and it's very labor intensive. So there's a lot of care and time that goes into cultivating the high level of rice by the Japanese farmers. And second, in addition to the highest quality of rice, Japan has the most advanced rice cooker technology in the entire world. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the Japanese rice cooker technology and Japanese rice. Hi, I'm Mike Matsuno, the man in Japan. I'm originally from Hawaii and I've lived in Japan for about 25 years. The two things that I love the most about Japan is the Japanese washlet toilet seat, which I have also made a video before up here, and the Japanese rice cooker, which I will talk about today in this video. Japanese rice ranks far ahead of any other country in regards to the best taste, texture, color, and grade. Once you've had the opportunity to eat Japan's high-quality rice over a short period of time, it's hard to go back to eating the usual Hinode or Safeway or Costco generic brand rice. For many Westerners, the main dish of a meal is usually a meat or a fish or a chicken. The rice, potato, or bread, the starch, is usually a side or support dish to the main dish. But in Japan, rice is the main dish and everything else is a support or side dish to the rice. So rice is the heart of a Japanese meal. If the rice is not good, no matter how good the side dishes are, the meal will not be considered good or satisfying. Now, if you live outside of Japan and want to eat good Japanese rice, you can, but you will need to have a high-quality Japanese rice cooker. Many non-Japanese consider the Japanese rice cookers quite expensive because most people's image of a rice cooker are usually of the cheaper $25 to $30 types that you can buy at your local appliance store. Most Westerners normally get by with a $25 rice cooker and buy the cheapest rice on sale at the local supermarket. And if that is enough for you, then please, no need to watch on. The high-quality Japanese rice cookers can range from $120 up to over $2,000 US. For Japanese, because rice is the most important food, price is not so much an issue when buying a rice cooker. Every household in Japan has a good rice cooker that has a very elaborate computer-like circuit board and chip within the rice cooker. The most advanced rice cooker technology cannot be found or purchased outside of Japan. That is why you have many Chinese, Koreans, and Taiwanese visitors purchasing rice cookers when they come to visit Japan. They buy the export model that has the correct voltage and wattage for their home country, and they take one back with them. It took the Japanese manufacturers a long time to finally develop and offer an export model for the US and some other Western countries. This was probably mainly due to the small and limited rice cooker market in the West. There are different types and levels of rice cooker technology. IH, induction heating, IH, atsuryoku, neuro fuzzy, micom fuzzy, but the oldest and most common technology for rice cookers outside of Japan is the fuzzy logic technology. Fuzzy logic technology was popular in Japan over 30 years ago, but fuzzy logic is still used outside of Japan for many rice cookers in the US. I personally am an IH, induction heating technology fan. Comparing the IH technology to the fuzzy logic is like night and day. It would be like comparing the original classic Macintosh computer of the 1980s to the present MacBook Pro. There's no comparison in the quality of the cooked rice. All big Japanese companies like Panasonic, Tiger, Hitachi, Zojirushi, Toshiba manufacture rice cookers in Japan, but only a few limited models are exported out due to the low number of consumers for such high-quality rice cookers, especially outside of Asia. In Japan, rice cooker sales are hugely competitive, with manufacturers using every sales angle and special feature to differentiate themselves from competitors. From specially created metallic rice cooker pots that keep the rice fresher or allow it to steam better, to the rice cookers offering special courses of cooking. Although most rice cookers have the same basic features, some still offer additional special features to promote their rice cooker. Similar to like when you purchase a cell phone. Different cell phone companies will mention all of their unique and special features and functions. Basic features for a rice cooker include speed cooking, making okai, which is like a porridge or Japanese thick rice soup, sushi rice, brown rice, warming options, hard or soft rice, timer, and there's usually a voice message that gives you notifications of what you set your rice cooker for or when the rice is finished cooking. In Japan, if you visited any electronics store or ventured into the Akihabara area, you could see all the different rice cookers offered at every level of price, size, color, and shape. Rice cookers are the most important electronic appliance in the Japanese home. Once I had a problem with my rice cooker and I had to take it back to the store where I purchased it after 6 months, which was still in the warranty period. They actually gave me a rice cooker loaner. You know how when you take a car into the auto mechanic shop and they sometimes give you a loaner to use? The same thing. I was so amazed. That tells you how important a rice cooker is to families in Japan. The loaner was a rice cooker model that was actually better than the one I had. They fixed my rice cooker in 3 days and I took back the loaner and picked up my repaired rice cooker. Sasuga Japan. Quick, easy, and professional. If you do live in the US or some other countries in the West and want to purchase an IH export model, there is one IH rice cooker I would suggest made by Zojirushi, and the link is below in the description if you are interested in checking it out. One more thing, if you're going to invest in a good rice cooker, please do not try to skimp to save money and use cheap rice. That would be like buying a BMW or Mercedes and putting in a cheap substandard level of gasoline. A good rice cooker will not be able to make cheap rice taste that good. The same reasoning is for buying expensive rice and cooking it in a $25 cheap rice cooker. You may get a slightly better finished product, but it will not make such a difference. This is the brand that I buy, Koshihikari, either from Niigata or Toyama Prefecture out in the Hokuriku area. The taste is a little bit sweet. I can almost basically eat just this rice alone without any kind of side dish or okazu. The two most famous rice grains in Japan are Koshihikari, which is famous from the Hokuriku region, and Sasanishiki, which comes from the northeast of Honshu, the Tohoku area. They always say the most important thing to determine the level of the rice is the quality of the water in the region. Many other prefectures also now grow the Koshihikari grain, so there are different levels of Koshihikari in Japan. The taste and the grades are different. When I returned to Hawaii to see my parents, I saw Koshihikari being sold in the Honolulu Don Quixote store, but the grain was from California. The Koshihikari grain from California is quite good, although I still think the Koshihikari grain from Japan is much better. If you don't have a Japanese or Asian supermarket that carries the Koshihikari grain close to where you live, I have a link below in the description if you want to order Koshihikari online. But just be sure you have free shipping or prime shipping, or the shipping alone will be very expensive. Also, as I mentioned before, there's a link below for the Zojirushi rice cooker with the IH technology that I personally think would cook some of the best rice outside of Japan. Even with the best export model outside of Japan and the highest quality of rice grain from California, you still will not be able to match the superior quality of rice in Japan. That's just a fact. So you'll have to come and visit Japan to get the highest quality of rice in the world. But you can still enjoy a very good second with an IH rice cooker and a high quality California Koshihikari grain. So here we just had the rice pop. There it is. You can tell that the Japanese rice is so fluffy and so soft and pearly white. Look at that. Okay, so here it is, the real Japanese rice. Koshihikari from Niigata. Wow, that's so good. I can, as I said before, it has a slight sweetness and I can just eat the rice alone. As they say in Hawaii, broke the mouth, tastes so good.